Now, Dorothy Parvaz is a global politics reporter for the news website Think Progress. She joins me now in the studio. Thanks very much for joining us, Dorothy. Now, is this a call to arms from Tehran?
I don't think it's a serious call to arms, but Iran has to respond somehow to how the U.S. has escalated things, and to just stay silent while the U.S. sort of prepares its ships and war machines in the region seems unreasonable.
There were some concerns in Washington that Iran could emerge emboldened from the fight against Daesh. What are the biggest fears here for the Trump administration, do you think?
Well, I don't know what the biggest fears for the Trump administration are, but what they are doing is emboldening the hardliners in Iran. So that should be their biggest concern. They're basically creating exactly the atmosphere that that they should fear the most. I don't think Iran has emerged from the fight with Daesh emboldened. If anything, embattled. They've lost troops, they've spent money, and they've lost political capital in the country because people didn't really want to get involved in this war. So yeah, I think the hardliners are the ones who are gaining the most.
And now, of course, we've got escalating a US sanctions program. We've got the abandonment of the nuclear treaty. Europe working really hard to make sure that Tehran sticks to its obligations. Where's the support for the US here? Are there any allies?
Within the JCPOA, no, none at all. China is steadfastly on Iran's side, as is Russia, and the European partners basically told Secretary Pompeo earlier this week that his war talk had no purchase there. They weren't going to fall in line with the U.S. Now it remains to be seen as this goes on whether they will stay that way or not. But no, the U.S. has no allies really in this war, except for Saudi Arabia and Israel are obviously on the U.S. side, although I don't know if there's any appetite for war from Israel.
And just in the latest Wall Street Journal report, intelligence suggests that perhaps the US and Iran are misreading each other here. They're stoking tensions in that way. What do you say to that?
Well, I mean, that's been the biggest fear that all analysts have had, and they've been highlighting that, as the US sort of prepares itself and sends the ships over, which have been sort of part of a long-running practice there, when National Security Advisor John Bolton says, no, this is like a military escalation, Iran's going to read that as exactly what Mr. Bolton says it is. So of course they're going to load missiles onto boats and get ready. The U.S. is going to look at that and say, they're escalating, look. And the potential for a misfire or miscalculation becomes all the more probable.
All right, Dorothy, thanks so much for your time. Dorothy Parvaz there for us.